your letters being very exclamation marks and very. You are both very knowledgeable and very passionate, very delicate. And what do you do? You're relative to the cousin. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yes, thank you. Ah.
Every time that she meets someone else, it's like stealing my business.
I've just started. I'm like, no, I'm actually. I don't know too much about the topics yet because we're looking for people
Starting? Yeah, we're getting
Yes, sorry, yes. Good morning. How are you? Awesome. Come on, it's Saturday. How are you? Awesome. One more time. How are you? Good. Yeah. My name is Mitch Cammidge, and welcome to the Social Media Lead Gen Conference 2019 here in Edmonton. Who's excited? Come on, a little more than that. Who's excited? Yeah. Who expects to learn something brand new they didn't know today? Hands up. There we go. Perfect. Who here expects to learn something so that they can make more money today? Woo! There we go. That's what I like to hear. Who here expects to learn something that they didn't expect to learn, or that they thought they knew already? Wonderful. This is the best part about an event like this, to be able to come together. First of all, there's just the networking, getting to make friends. Who here believes they can meet at least one person in the room that they can do business with? Ah, there we go. Wonderful. Who here believes they can make money by the end of the day? Less hands. Okay. Now, what's wonderful about an event like this and a chance to network and grow and to break bread, in fact, for those people and to our VIP members, thank you very much for joining us for breakfast this morning. It was an opportunity to break bread, to sit down in what? The most social fashion we know, to eat together. It is a vulnerability when we can sit down, use our hands or utensils, talk with our mouths full, and more importantly, get to know each other just a little bit. Because what we really want to do is to get to know the person. We want to get to know what they stand for, what they represent. Business. We want to know the informed decisions and decide, first of all, if they're valuable to us. Then, if we like them, and lastly, if we can trust them with our business, with our families, or with our money. Social media has given us the power to reach out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to do this with people worldwide. Who here has done business with somebody outside of the city? Who here has done business with somebody outside of the province? Who here has done business with somebody outside of the country? Who here has done business with people on a different continent? Right? Enough hands here. So for those people with their hands still up at the end, you already understand the power of being able to leverage this. Whether it's through communication, pull this out, flip open whatever video chat option I want to use, and to have a face-to-face conversation with another human being right now. But what we lack or what we miss, for the wonder of this many people in a room this morning to learn how to do that, is to have our business do it for us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the world. What do I have? I got 4, 5, 8, 13, 17, 21, 25, 28, 33, 35, 38, 41, 45. We got about 60 people here. So I'm going to get the first 3 rows to stand up real quick. I love doing visual representations. If you guys haven't got it yet, small intro. My name is Mitch Cammidge, and I am a savage in business. Why? I'm a business coach. I help businesses build stuff so that it works better. If they never had it and didn't work before, we install it. And otherwise, we make sure businesses run better. Ali and I have the opportunity to share through their speakers today how to make one specific aspect of your business work. Why I had the first 3 rows stand up? I'm going to give you one example before we go into the second example, because the numbers are almost the same. Out of the entire room, this is how many people, if the room represents the entire world, log into Facebook on a regular basis. So if there's just one of you sitting at the back, do you think it pays dividends to be able to talk to this many people all day, every month? The very first speaker we got today is going to talk about YouTube. The 3 largest search engines on the planet right now are Google, YouTube, and Facebook. 2 of them are social platforms. YouTube and Facebook have about this many active users on a monthly basis. If the room represents the entire world, this is how many people regularly. People, thank you for participating. Go ahead and sit down. This is how many people are active on a monthly basis. So if I need to talk to a proportion of the population in the world, then it pays for me to do it in a way that does what? Gives me as many people as possible to talk to. Does that make sense? And that's part of why we're here. So we have 11 speakers through 8 primary sessions today. They are all experts, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally. Some of them have their own broadcast shows. Some of them are published authors. Some of them have taken industries that are notoriously difficult to advertise, market, and attract new clientele in, and to have their businesses grow rapidly. And they've been able to keep pace. Ali and I want to be able to have them share their expertise with you. So when I say that you can leave here at the end of the day, and you will know definitively how to do at least one thing better, and if you're really paying attention, all of it better. Who's excited about that right now? Now when I ask, who here thinks they can make more money by the end of the day? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Aaron Biblo of Trend Labs. He's going to be talking to you about YouTube, and why it's so exciting is I've been doing what he told me to do in March on YouTube. My YouTube channel monetized, which means I get paid from YouTube to run a channel, and it attracts attention like nobody's business. Without further ado, Aaron Biblo.
Apparently we have a projector that does not want to turn on. Well, while we're figuring that out, quick show of hands, who uses YouTube? Who uses the internet? That's the hands I should have saw the first time. So who has uploaded a video to YouTube? Cool, so we got a bunch of people. So you all have channels that you actively curate. Who has a channel that they actively grow? Perfect. So there's going to be something in here for all of you guys. Oh, sure. As soon as I have, this is my fancy presentation. We're talking about HDMI cables today. The best part about being the first speaker is you get to figure out all the tech stuff with everybody else. Displays. Screen. So on PC, this is F11. I don't know what is the full screen.
Mac people?
Green button.
Left-hand side.
Is there like a bigger full screen here? I mean, Mitch got a lot of links up there. So. All right, this is good enough for now. And LED lights, if you could, so you guys can actually see stuff. Is that a little bit better, guys? Is that the best? Okay, we'll do that one. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about how to extract money from YouTube. By the way, hey guys, I'm Eric, and as Mitch said, founder of Trend Lab and also the Video Flywheel. We've been featured, actually before I go there, this is my partner Tristan. He's actually based in Utah, so he couldn't make it today. A little bit of a long flight, but that is all right. So we've been featured on Business and Hustle and Flowchart podcast, awesome shows. They've had the likes of Russell Brunson, Ryan Levesque, some of the big marketing guys and stuff like that. Oh, that's good enough. This is good enough. Somewhere that doesn't bring stuff up on the screen. Cool. And so, just to tell you guys a little bit about what the Flywheel has done for some people. First of all, Mitch mentioned that he ran it himself, managed to monetize his channel and grow it within a remarkably short amount of time. But we have Successfully promoted programs upwards of $10,000 USD straight from YouTube. Sold 2.3 million worth of bricks year to date. So that's just from 2019 alone. If you can sell bricks on YouTube, you can sell them. And then we've also launched courses organically with absolutely no ad spend. The numbers are a little small, but pretty much what it says is there's 103 course sales within about 60 days of that course launch, and that netted that person about $5,000. So again, lots of stuff possible with YouTube and Vimeo.
Yes.
Speak louder.
Better.
Better? Okay. We're good?
Yeah, speak louder.
All right, I promise I'm not texting. This is my remote. All right, so why should we care about YouTube? So this is for the people, for the 3 people that don't use YouTube or the internet. So as Mitch alluded to earlier, YouTube is both the 2nd largest search engine, but also the 2nd most visited website on the internet. And that's only second to Google, which, surprise, surprise, also serves up YouTube videos. A little bias towards it. There's 1.9 billion active monthly users. Again, actually, I'm going to say, Mitch, you would have needed to go about 2 rows back. That's how many active users would be active on a monthly basis. And then 85% of people age 18 to 74 have used YouTube. And that's better than Facebook's average of 66.5%. But more importantly, I'm concerned about 66% of users watched a video to help make a purchase decision. And interestingly enough, 80% of those people that watched a video to make a purchase decision did so at the beginning of their purchase journey. So if you're not on video, your competitor is. 438 million hours of product review videos were watched in the past 2 years. Just in case anyone wants to do the math, that's about 50,000 years or so, back to back. And YouTube is the #1 how-to search engine. Reason being is you merge video and search. Probably the best way to figure out. Oh, we're gonna do the mic. So much better. I don't have the bellow. Anyway, so 70% of millennials have used YouTube platform last year. So who thinks their business needs to be on YouTube? Show of hands. A few less than I think there should be, but anyway. All right, so this is a packed talk, guys. We've got a lot to cover, and I've only got about a half hour to cover it, and then we've got some question and answer at the end, so I'm told. So we're going to cover the basics of video. We're going to cover our winning video formula, and then finally we're going to talk about how to create one of these flywheels. And then if we have time at the end, we're going to make one. So number 1, how do I actually make someone want to watch a YouTube video? I'm going to tell you this. If your video, it doesn't matter how good your content is, there's a couple of key things if you don't do them, someone will leave your video almost instantly. And the 3 things that make up a good YouTube video, and just video content in general, whether this is on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you guys happen to be putting video up. Number 1 is audio. You'd think it'd be video, but we'll get into that. Then lighting. And then finally video. What do you mean videos last? Like we're watching YouTube videos, not a YouTube podcast. Well, the thing is that audio is more important than video. And just think of a video that you guys have watched that's had really horrible sound, kind of like nails on a chalkboard. You can put up with poor video. And case in point, Blair Witch Project, they don't know what image stabilization is, but you can hear everyone clearly. Whereas if you have bad audio and good video, no one wants to listen, especially not for an extended period of time. And then also with lighting, it is almost impossible, if not incredibly expensive, to try and correct poor lighting in post-production. And then the last reason that video is last is because your guys' phones, as long as who's bought a smartphone within the last 3 years? Perfect, you have your camera. Just make sure you get a tripod or some sort of gimbal. If you're not familiar, a gimbal is a little thick. So, start on the first part. How do you get better audio? So you can use a lavalier, which is one of those lapel-mounted microphones. Typically what I'd recommend to most people. You can use a shotgun microphone, and if you want to get really fancy, but you don't mind being tied down to a single location, and if you guys take one thing away from this talk, if you're going to make videos, go buy a microphone. Grab this one. It's on Amazon, $27. It'll be the best $27 you'll spend on your video production. So, don't worry about taking pictures. If you guys need a copy of the slides, just email me after. My email's in the end. All right, now lighting. As you can tell, lighting is super important because you guys can't really read anything on here. So with lighting, you guys have two options. Number one, natural lighting, just go outside, but you get what you get. So, but the thing is what we're concerned about is making sure that the video actually looks natural. Different types of lights will end up making you look like a zombie. And I don't know about you, I prefer watching videos about people that are alive, not the undead, unless it's Halloween. So then we have indoor lighting. So the industry standard for 3-point lighting, or the industry standard for lighting is 3-point lighting. Consists of 3 lights. Your key light, which is the main light source, is going to light you up from one side. You got your fill light. Make sure you don't look like a raccoon. And then a backlight to just kind of separate you from your backdrop. The reason we're rushing through this is because I know this is kind of boring for those that haven't really. This is just the 80-20 of how to get better video. But again, budget recommendation. There is a soft light box set. There's a couple different types of lights. There's LEDs and there's soft boxes. The benefit of a soft box is it kind of looks like an umbrella with a white mesh thing on the front. And what that does is that diffuses the light, makes it look more natural. The other thing is that light bulbs tend to look better than LEDs on the skin, better color reproduction, and again, you don't look like a zombie. So I have a short link there for this specific one because there are a billion of them. Again, don't worry about it, this will be in the slides later. So number 2, what goes into a good script? So our winning YouTube video formula includes 7 steps. You've got your hook, your bumper, your body, an ask for interaction, a segue, the so what, and then finally your call to action and your outro. But we build this in reverse. So number 1, your call to action. It's good to establish what the goal of your video is up front. It helps you really define what needs to be in the video and what, more importantly, what doesn't need to be in the video. And what action would you like the viewer to take? Do you want them to make a purchase? Probably not if it's the first video they've seen. More likely than not, it's going to be to watch another video. This is what a really good example of an end screen looks like on YouTube. You've got a couple of different options. So he's presented another video for you to watch. He's also asked you to subscribe, and then if you're ready to purchase, there's a link to a free ebook. But we're going to talk about why you might not want to do that a little bit later. Thing is if you don't tell them what to do, they're going to decide what they want to do themselves, and it's more likely than not going to be leaving your channel. And half the reason we binge on Netflix is because Netflix tells us to. So make sure to tell them to watch another video on the channel. The so what? So what's the lesson you're trying to impart to the viewer? Pretty much this is meant to wrap up the stories that you've used in your video. And because we're building this backwards, it lets you kind of access your vault of stories to figure out what you can talk to the viewer about that will help illustrate your point. Usually consists of a connecting theme between stories that is related to, again, what you want the user to do. The segue. The reason the segue is super important is that people get bored. The viewer may either be familiar with some of the information in the video, or sometimes it's just not relevant to them where they thought it might have been. So instead of losing them to another video on another video on YouTube by then pressing the back button to go back to search, you can instead suggest another video on your channel in order to keep them watching your content. So, link to the video with a card. What's a card? Super easy. Inside of the back end of YouTube, you can just put a timestamp and a link to another video. Kind of looks like this little white box. I'm sure you guys have all seen that kind of pop up at the top. Often I'll coach our clients to gesture because we look where people point. And pro tip, link a card at the point in the video that about 50% of viewers leave the video. What I mean by that is in the back end of YouTube, you get a bunch of stats on your different videos. It will let you know how long most of the viewers stay. And at that 50% mark, just put a timestamp in there and then link to another video that might be relevant based on what they were talking about, or what you're talking about in that video. Interaction. So the whole point of the flywheel is both to create binging habits in our viewers, but it's also to game the algorithm a little bit. And our videos just aren't just made for people, they're actually made for the algorithm as well. And so considering adding some sort of question of the day, asking for an opinion. Actually, one of my other favorite channels that I like watching is called Legal Eagle. He says, leave your comment in the form of an objection. So he kind of turns it into a bit of a game, that sort of thing. But they're all asking for engagement in the comments. And pro tip again, replying to comments usually leads to the viewer coming back to the video to interact with that comment again. And when they interact with the video, more play or more watch time, and then again, just continues to boost visibility of the channel and the video. Now the body. This is pretty much the meat and potatoes of your video. You want to start by reframing the problem for the viewer. And what we're going to be solving, what we're going to be teaching, try and use some pain points in order to frame that problem. Now it's time to tell stories. So the stories that you kind of identified from that, the so what section, that's what you're going to be kind of connecting stories with. So story, connecting theme. Story, connecting theme. Repeat as many times as necessary. But you're going to want to aim for a video between 5 and 15 minutes. Only make a video as long as it needs to be. So, start of the story, end of the story, not craziness. The bumper. So this is not 100% necessary, especially for a brand new channel, but it does help to add a little bit of style and expression and kind of a higher production value. For those of you that are not familiar with video editing, we have some tools at the end that will be able to help out with this. But it can also be used to showcase lifestyle in non-lifestyle videos. Everyone's kind of talking these days about show off how successful you are and stuff like that. This is a way to do that without being like in your face about it, because people typically don't come to YouTube for lifestyle videos. They're coming to YouTube to learn, at least in the context of our businesses. So it also creates some familiarity with the channel by having a recurring piece, kind of like the opening of your favorite show, or like Friends. It's a familiar, warm feeling. And then it can just be a splash screen, or it can be a mini video, kind of like, again, like the Friends intro. And some of the tools that we recommend, there's story blocks for people that are a little bit more familiar with video editing, that can kind of take a template and turn it into something that they can use. Or go use Fiverr. Fiverr has people on it that have access to all these tools. Pay them anywhere between 20 to 50 bucks. Come up with a quick bumper, or even just a 3D animated logo. And finally, we have the hook with this one weird trick. Think of it as, this is supposed to be clickbait to a degree, and the goal is to capture attention within 5 seconds. Now, that's both the case with ads and with organic videos. If you've ever watched a video that you're not entirely familiar with, or from a channel you've never seen before, and you're like, what is this? And you kind of click back, we want to avoid that. Tell the viewer exactly what they want to know, or exactly what they're going to be getting out of the video. There's a couple of different methods that we recommend. There's the Alex Becker model. If any of you have been using YouTube and are in the entrepreneurial space, you may have heard about that one weird trick with this crazy wolf mug that the guy sells. But the Alex Becker model usually says, in about X seconds, I'm going to show you how to do X without Y by doing Z. The double take. So the double take is taking a clip of the video and going, wait, what did he just say? So it could be a clip from one of your stories that's like, what? And you can take a really quick clip of that at the very beginning so that it kind of draws them in and makes them want to watch the rest of the video. And then finally, something that we utilize a lot of is the previous video model. So a lot of our videos are actually connected in a sequence. So what we'll do is we'll reference the video that actually sent them there and tell them, hey, in the last video, we learned how to do this. In this video, we're going to take that and 10x it, and by the end of this, you'll be able to do that. So think of this as a sales pitch for your video. Again, you're just trying to get buy-in, and the goal of any script or any piece of copy is for each line to get them to read the next line. So that's our winning YouTube video formula. Now it's exercise time. One of the best types of videos to make, or a good starting point for those of you who haven't started a YouTube channel, is to think about some of the most frequently asked questions in your industry. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Write down top 3 frequently asked questions that you guys have in your industry, and then I'm going to call for some responses. Back up. Show of hands, who's got three frequently asked questions? Wow, none of you guys know your industries. All right, actually, yeah, Kathy, why don't you give us, tell us what you do, and then what the 3 questions of your industry are.
Good question. So I get asked a lot about how to become a best-selling author.
Yeah.
I've done it 5 times, so people want to know how to do that. The other question I get asked is, how do I get started as a speaker or as an author? And the third one that I've been getting a lot lately is, how do I land a TEDx talk? Because I've done 2 TEDx talks.
Cool.
So.
Round of applause, Karen. All right, I'm looking for 1 or 2 more. Who wants to share? You in the front there. You were quick.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian, working as a financial advisor. So in my industry, I basically teach people how to save and grow their money, right? So one of the things I would always ask is how to create massive passive wealth, right? Another one is how to retire young, which I am also in the pursuit of, and to become financially free at the age of 45.
Perfect. Round of applause, guys. 1 more, who's going quick? All right, you in the front.
I'm Ann Kulovich. I'm a close relative, I describe it, to accountants and bookkeepers. I deal with software, typically accounting software, and I do consulting and training. Top 3 questions. How do I pick my product? Which one is best? Number 2, can you speed up the process of learning? And number 3, can you do it for me?
Well, I guess that's probably going to... Thanks for participating, guys. All right, so number 3, how to get your prospects to actually binge watch your videos Netflix style. Well, that's all we have time for, folks. Video, or by extension 1 hour-and-a-half long webinar, or will I like you more after watching 3 5-minute videos or 10 flywheel videos? It's that repetitive novelty, and on top of that, they keep continuing to make the choice to watch. So you're building a small yes ladder before you even talk to them. At the same time as moving on getting them a small win. So each video points to both the next video in the cycle and either a call to action video, which is our sacrificial exit videos, and or a video selected by the algorithm. So what I mean by this is that there's an option at the end of a YouTube video to have YouTube pick another video from your channel. And part of the power of this system is that Google has a whole bunch of information on all of us. Who here uses Gmail? Cool. It's read every single message you've ever received and sent, and uses that to decide what YouTube video you want to watch. Crazy. Does it give advertisers like us access to that? Sort of. But when trying to keep you on platform, it's going to try and put videos that are relevant. So if you happen to send a message about your wedding, YouTube's going to start showing you some wedding content, because it's most likely that you'll watch that and then see more ads. So what YouTube is trying to do, and a little bit of a short lesson about the algorithm, is that YouTube optimizes for something called session time, or specifically watch time per impression. So what that means in English is that the longer you stay on YouTube, the more videos you watch, and therefore the more ads that you see. Videos that keep you on YouTube and going to more videos on YouTube get a boost. Call it a point. Videos that bring you to YouTube get a point. Videos that cause you to leave YouTube get a penalty. So that's why I was saying a little bit earlier that you may not want to put a link to your free ebook on every single video. Instead, what we want to do is isolate that penalty to our sacrificial exit videos. So this is your opportunity to make your offer and make your invitation. 9 times out of 10, flywheels are usually built for some sort of higher ticket service or some sort of, higher ticket service or some sort of high ticket product. So usually that involves a call. 9 times out of 10, our most successful sacrificial exit videos happen to be those that ask for, or rather invite the user to come to a call. So these videos will point straight to your offer, either through a pinned comment or the video description. Later, after you become a partner, like Mitch said, and you can monetize your channel, you have the right to then put those links on screen. But until then, you can't link off of YouTube without having that partner status. Ideally, it's contextually linked to the video before it, and we'll get a little bit more into that when we build one of these flywheels at the end. It's short, includes a reminder of pain points, what they get, how they get it, and when you want them to do it. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be now because they're experiencing the pain point then. It could be at a particular trigger. When you get to this thing, give us a call, or come book a call with us, that sort of thing. And this will go to your landing page where there may be a video there or some sort of book a call function, Calendly link, something like that. So again, this is an invitation, not a pitch. They've already watched a bunch of your content before having seen this video. So getting too pitchy can push them away. It's more of an invitation. If they're not ready to buy from you yet, they'll go back to the previous video, continue watching more of your flywheel, and then again, when it comes up to that next time that you have that call or that session, then they'll be invited again, maybe more per what your client thinks their problem is. So often we think clients have a particular problem, which they most often do because we're the experts in it, and help them understand what their problem really is, that you're here to help them and to add some value. Most of the time this is going to be someone's first introduction to your channel because it's going to be more of that top of the funnel type video. Then, after they've watched the entry video, you're going to link them to the most relevant video inside of your flywheel. And that's not necessarily going to be the very first one. I know a lot of you probably have systems that are kind of from start to finish, but for example, one of our clients, she teaches people how to build and sell courses that are $10,000 and more. If their problem is no one's buying my course, we don't talk to them about mindset first. Even though that is possibly the most important thing, they'll get to that later by watching more of the flywheel. And these videos are either going to be optimized for search, run as ads, or optimized to piggyback on other channels' content through the recommended video system. So who here has seen at the end of the video that YouTube decides to autoplay something else? Cool. Who here has seen if you scroll down on YouTube on your phone, there's a bunch of other videos. Some of them say they're recommended for you. Cool. Who's opened up the YouTube app and just kind of scrolled to see what they want to watch? Also the recommended video system. So this is the algorithm trying to promote content that is going to keep you on YouTube, and we can gain that in order to have YouTube continuously promote your content. Let me supercharge it with ads. And the really cool thing is that YouTube ads are stupid cheap. The reason is that there's a bit of a barrier to entry. So a couple of different places we can run our entry video ads as a search placement ad for the relevant search term. So instead of trying to rank it organically, we can just pay for that spot. Very similar to you can make a video specifically about that and reframe the problem into your system in sense of view. And on top of that, someone has to click on your ad. So that means there are a lot more bought into your video as opposed to just a pre-roll ad. The same problems or situations. For example, one of our clients is a physiotherapist. Not to get into a super long story, there's some maneuver that you can do to fix your vertigo, but it's a vertigo. So we're running an ad in front of those videos that says, hey, in the next 20 seconds, we're going to tell you why the maneuver you're looking at doesn't work for your specific case and what the problem actually is. I know what video they're looking for. I know what their problem is, and I'm offering a direct solution. If you guys see a pre-roll ad like that, you're a lot more likely to at least stick around and give it the time of day than just wait for that skip button to pop up. Then we also run it to in-market audiences on the home screen of YouTube. So again, you can buy your way right onto that home screen based on, for example, if you're a mortgage broker, if someone's in market to buy a house, maybe you want to start running them some ads on what it takes to get pre-qualified for a mortgage, and then bring them into your system. And that's something that we've done for another one of our clients. Then the other ads, you want to run ads for your call to action videos. But you don't want to run these externally because you want to make sure someone is actually ready to see it. So, people that have already watched your CTA video, we can retarget them with a reminder that you're here to help. Then people who went through the flywheel, watched maybe 4 or 5 videos, but maybe didn't go and watch your CTA. Send them an ad that says, hey, just in case you didn't see this, we can help you with what you're going through, with what your business is going through, with what you're experiencing. And because they're familiar with you, that ad's going to be much better received, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. All right. And then you want to run those through a custom audience. And then finally, we have some really small numbers on the screen, so I'll just take the liberty of explaining this. So this is one of the a podcast launch from one of our students who learned to do this or learned to do all of this on his own. With about $51 of ad spend, he generated $1,654 in revenue. So he managed to do that. This is going to be a little technical. 1.7 cent views, but they watched 4.5 minutes for those views. I don't know about you, but I don't think you can get attention that cheap anywhere else. And he ended up getting a 3,244% return on ad spend. I don't know where else you're getting that. Final tips. Thumbnails and titles matter a lot. If your hook is selling your person on watching the rest of your video, your title and thumbnail is selling them on watching the video in the first place. Aside from audio, content is more important than production. Most of our clients just have a talking head video, maybe a couple of lights, nothing fancy. It doesn't need to get complicated, especially if that's going to keep you from getting on YouTube. Some tools, they're in black and stark in here, so I'll just read them off. There's TubeBuddy, there's TubeSift, and there's vidIQ. What that'll let you guys do is go and kind of do recon on some of the other channels that are out there and doing it. Frankly, I'm kind of a fan of R&D, rip off and duplicate. So go look and see what your competitors are doing and how they're winning. Implement the same things here. There's more than enough room in the market for everybody. All right, so remember how I said if we had enough time? Unfortunately, it looks like we're down to our last 5 minutes, so I don't think that we do. However, I can take questions during the Q&A. So that wraps up my talk.
Questions? You got questions?
Oh,
2
okay,
minutes.
we're doing, or I guess not a Q&A thing. All right, go ahead.
Underneath the video, you have a chance to put text.
Yes.
What's the bit to optimize that part of, and how critical is it to search?
So which part are we talking about?
So if I put my videos up,
The
I put
description?
my
Okay.
in the description. Thank you.
Because there's a couple of different, first of all, there's a couple different places you can put text. Captions is a thing that people tend to forget about. Google reads those. So make sure your videos are captioned. And you don't realize, for the description, it really depends, like, you can just send me an email and I can send a copy of that out. And that pretty much just, you put in a couple of lines of text and then drag and drop some stuff, and then it generates a description for you.
Subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
Are subtitles generated automatically, or is that something you have to put in?
Both. So if you do not put them in, YouTube will auto-generate the subtitles for you, which is not what you want. You would much rather have, so a couple of tools you can use, rev.com, R-E-V, and then there's also Otter. Otter is the less expensive of the two. They're both transcription services. You can send audio recordings off to them, and they will transcribe and send back with like anywhere between a 90 to 95% accuracy. Just go ahead and fix them, and then pop them in the caption box. Caption box. Based platform, unless you are specifically searching for the language, most of the time that video won't come up. So, for the language, most of the time that video won't come up. So, that creates definitely take
Is there a way to turn on the caption automatically? Sometimes I forget to turn on the caption and then I don't realize that there is a subtitle.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Technical person, I am more the scripting guy, but to my knowledge, there's no way to get a caption to automatically show up that is not hard-coded into the video. What I mean by hard-coded is that it's actually baked into the video and it's not separate text. That does not help you. So what that means is do not re-upload videos from Facebook that are captioned like that to YouTube and expect them to perform well. Also, video lives on different platforms for different reasons. If I'm going to YouTube, I'm looking for more of a long-form piece of content, whereas if I'm going to Facebook, you have to capture my attention and convince me that I want to watch in the first place. Most videos are played without sound. So, and then on top of that, aspect ratio, because when you're using Facebook, you're looking at it like this. When you're using YouTube, you're looking at it like this. So different videos live on different platforms. Any other questions? Looks like we're all wrapped up. So, gift time. So for those of you who have some more technical questions like the description, my partner actually put together a PDF that goes through some of the more technical things like tagging, descriptions, and how to optimize your videos for the algorithm. I more so covered how to optimize them for people. So definitely go download this. Videoflywheel.io/download is the link. You'll be able to grab that PDF there. And I don't know if we're going to get enough interest in this, but if there is, we're considering doing an AdWords training for how we reduce our clients' AdWords spends by 90% plus. Give you guys an example of what this looks like. This is a client from like a day or two ago. Super small numbers again. His average cost per click is normally $9.62. We got it down to 1 cent through YouTube and retargeting lists. So we may end up doing a training on that if you guys are interested. And if you are interested, send me an email to Aaron@videoflywheel.io. If we get enough interest, we'll do a live training or something like that, and send out the replay to those that can't make it. And again, videoflywheel.io/download for that gift. And if you guys have any questions, or you want the description generator or anything like that, shoot me an email.
Aaron will be available at lunch for our VIP people that have joined with us today, as well as Slide Aaron Goodwell. We got a little shift this morning. This afternoon, initially, we were going to have, well, how Twitter works. That got moved in favor of some other speakers that really came to the forefront at the last minute, and then we had one person jump out last minute, so we're going to spend about 30 minutes talking about Twitter. Who here knows what Twitter is? Who uses water refill? Let's revolve just a little bit, dive right into Twitter.
Check 1, 2.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Hopefully that wasn't like information overload, like I'm sure it was.
Check 1, 2. Sorry that we